All right. It's 11:36, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, KineticHiFi.com. It is time for Heart Talk. This is the talk portion of our show. This is where we come to renew our hearts and restore our minds. Yes, and of course, it's Monday night for all the ladies listening in. We do Heart Talk on our empowerment line every Monday night at 9:15. So if you're a lady listening in, I want you to call in 712-770-4035, access code 875315. And you can check us out for Heart Talk tonight. It's a very intimate call where women from all over the country call in to renew their minds and restore their hearts. And I would love for you guys to be there. That number again, 712-770-4035, access code 875315. All right, and this segment of the show is brought to you by the new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. You can pre-order your copy at theheartconnections.com. It is time for our second segment of Heart Talk, and we're talking about being you. And right now, I want to talk about going through the fire. And for those of you who are listening in, if you want to catch me live, you can check me out on YouTube at The Heart Connections, the page, the channel, The Heart Connections. And you can also go to bit.ly/Heart Connections, bit.ly/Heart Connections, and you can catch me live on YouTube. But we're talking about being yourself. And on this hour, I am going to mix the word of the day along with our quote of the day. And we're going to just look at that a little bit because the quote of the day was always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate it. That's coming from Bruce Lee. The word of the day today is mercurial, and it means quick and changeable and temperament, volatile. Bruce Lee tells us to always be ourselves. The first hour I was telling you to get still so that you can find yourself. One of the things that you will find as you get to know yourself, many of us will find that we're pretty mercurial in nature, if we be honest. Now, I know I am. Not I think I am. I am. I can be very flippy at times. Yes, the heart coach, I never put myself on that pedestal. I always tell y'all, pray for me now, especially if you've ever heard me speak or whatever, we all family now. I keep it real. But I want to talk to you about that with making it happen because you have to know this about yourself. You have to understand that sometimes you can be quick and changeable in temperament and sometimes volatile. Some of us are really like that. And when we think that, a lot of times we think getting violent. It's not necessarily being violent. Being volatile is just not staying the same. Something that's volatile can change quickly at any time and go into any form. That means you can be smiling and then start crying and go from crying to getting to scheming on some things. And they're like, what's going on with you? That's being mercurial in nature. That's having a mercurial temperament or attitude. And I want to talk to you about that because a lot of times we notice that about ourselves and we've been taught that is bad. We've been taught that is bad. You need to be even keel and you need to put a place. I said that's a good place to be all over the place. Let's just be all over the place. A part of making it happen is realizing that you are human. You are not going to stay the same. You have emotions. They're going to fluctuate. You're going to be up and down. There may be times that you're going to react in a way that you know wasn't the best way. There are going to be times that you do things that you know you should not have done. But that's all a part of discovering who you are. And you have to do that if you're going to make some things happen. That's why there's no such thing as failure unless you quit. The only way to fail is to stop. And if you're breathing, you never really fail. Like the way God has set life up, you really can't fail unless you like stop breathing. Seriously. I've heard stories of people in a coma and the doctor gave them X amount of time to live. But because they were mercurial in nature, they came up out of those comas. They came up out of these things. Being you is literally like transitioning from death to life. When I was in my new members class at church, they said, having a relationship not about having a relationship with Christ is about bringing dead people to life. And you have to know that. You have to understand that. Being you doesn't always look good and smell good and feel good. But like Bruce Lee said, don't go out and look for a successful personality to duplicate. Don't look at somebody else's highlight reel and think that's their life. It's not. The most loving and caring and gentle souls have a flip side to that personality. And when you start wanting to be like other people, you don't know what you really want to be like. I want you to understand that you may be going through ups and downs. I know I am, and I have. But one thing I'm learning is I'm not beating myself up for it like I used to. I'm getting to understand it. I want to be a little bit more gentle with myself. I want to give myself a little bit more grace and take a little bit more time with myself, because the more I get to understand me, it unlocks some answers about me and my family and my marriage, but in my ministry. Just when I get on here, it makes me a lot more effective when I've been real with myself through my ups and downs, and I can come back and be like, look, you ever had somebody put words to something you were feeling and you couldn't even express it? And you hear them say something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's how I've been feeling. And I couldn't even put that into words. That's what I'm talking about. Being okay with being in a space that you can't put into words. Sorry about that, guys. Just have a little technical difficulties. But so we're talking about being you. And one of the things you have to understand when you come to this understanding and realization of who you are is it's gonna be awkward at times. It's gonna be awkward, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awkward because you have to. I'll put it like this. I'm finding myself in situations where before I would have reacted, and now I'm taking time to respond. I'm finding myself in situations where when I figure out that I've done wrong and I need to apologize, I don't feel like I'm less than because I have to apologize. I made a mistake. I might have done something bad, but I'm not bad. I may be guilty of it, but I'm not guilty. We have to understand and learn how to differentiate between the two. And that's why I like when my little Christopher comes home and says, I was good today, or I didn't reach a certain goal. And I said, well, how do you reach the goal? He said, well, you have to be good. I said, well, if that's the case, you reach the goal every day, because when God looked at you, he called you good. That's why he sent you here. So tell me some specifics on what you have to do to get this, because being good, you have that down. You're good. So he was like, well, I have to, behave good. And I said, well, what specifically was behaving good? Shout out to Siobhan. I have some wonderful teacher friends. And she's a teacher / administrator. I mean, my teachers are doing the thing now. So, but she told me one day, she said, talk to him and figure out what exactly is good. Figure out what's good now. You and him set some goals, because what happens is we beat down our children's self-esteem by telling them stuff like, stop being bad. What is that? Let's be specific, because what we don't realize is when we generalize bad, then people start to assume I'm generally bad. And parents, that little one, they so bad. No, they're children. They're inquisitive. They're figuring things out. And if more of us adults did that, we wouldn't be so weighed down in life. If we weren't so set and we hadn't been conditioned to think we're bad, many of us still think we're bad. But we'll get up and praise the Lord and do all of this stuff. That's why this quote is so important. Always be yourself. Express yourself. Have faith in yourself. You know why you need to have faith in yourself? Because God is in you. He's immutable. He can't be changed. He can't be altered. He cannot be defeated. And you're made in his image. So even when you mess up, even when you don't get it right, that's some of the most, that's often the most precious, most fertile space to be in. because that's the space for you to grow. That's where you know I have room to grow. I can get better. I can do this. We have to be okay with that mercurial nature at times. Yes, it's good to be even keel and relaxing, but that's just a part of it. It's like yin and yang, positive and negative. We need them both to have balance, to have homeostasis. We need all of these things working together. So don't discredit the side of yourself that isn't the most flattering. Maybe that's the side that's going to strengthen you the most. Maybe that's the side that's going to bring the most out of you to make your life a lot more flattering to you and to God. Forget what people have to say. They praise you today, they crucify you tomorrow. Just don't do that to yourself. You think about it. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. I'm sending this out to y'all. This is what we like. We love ourselves. Bruno Mars. That's what I like. We'll be back with the midday mix after this. Kai High Five. All right, all right. Hello, YouTube. Thank you so much for being here live. Make sure to like the video, comment below, subscribe, and we'll be back with more after this. Make sure you stay tuned.